This is going to be my first YouTube video. I want the first video to be a Q&A to get everyone a chance to basically get to know me. I posted on my Instagram basically for people to ask me questions and anything they wanted to know really about myself, about my brand, advice, you know, anything, and I'll be willing to answer it. So I'm just going to run through some questions. Like I said, this is my first YouTube video. I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible. My goal is to post every Sunday, so I just expect to upload, or make sure you subscribe so you can get the notification about me posting, or every time I post. So my goal is every Sunday. So if you see me slacking or it's getting close to Monday and you still don't see no post or no notification, hit me up and I'm gonna get right for y'all. So that's my toast to y'all, is to be consistent and to post every Sunday to give y'all good content. Yeah, so let's get started. The first question that I want to answer is, how did you get your followers up? So basically, in high school, it all started in high school when I had my prom, and my prom went viral. So I'm not sure if some of you saw it, but I had like a long dress or whatever. It was really nice. I got it made and it went viral on Instagram. So that attracted a lot of traffic to my Instagram. It ended up on the Explore page a lot. A lot of the prom pages were posting it. So that's kind of how I got like my face out there. People started being familiar with me, and you know, once you go viral on Instagram, you know, that attracts a lot of people to your page, and you know, you grow your audience and your followers. So that kind of happens. After that, I went to college. I go to Temple University. I'm actually graduating this year, but I went to college, and you know, when you're in college, you start going out, you know, more and more. And the thing with social media is, to keep like a steady flow of traffic to your page, you have to post constantly. Like, you have to be consistent when you're posting. So I started being on people's timelines more and more, and it caused them to basically come to my page more often, see what's up with me, follow me, repost my stuff, comment on my stuff. Those type of engagements are what you want if you're trying to build your following. And it's not just about Instagram, really. When you're trying to build your following, especially when you have a brand, that's good. When you have like a large audience to see your brand and what you basically are promoting, that's like a good start to have like a large following. But that's really how I got like a lot of traffic to my page at first. So it started when I was graduated high school, and then in college it kept kind of going. That year was just like a really like fast year for me, kind of, because I was like always doing something, always posting, always getting dressed up. So yeah, that kind of started it. Over the years, I've launched my businesses. Mercy Beauty, in 2021 I will be launching my clothing line, House of S and Her, so stay tuned for that. Also, I should have started out the video with basically showing or allowing y'all guys to hear how that to pronounce S and Her. So it's S and Her. A lot of people just be like Snur or whatever, but it's actually like an abbreviation for my first, middle, and then last name. So S and Her. The next question is, what inspired you to launch your own business? So basically, about 2 years ago, I had got my hair dyed red, and when she dyed it, she bleached it like twice. I never went to her before, so you know, when you build a relationship with your hairstylist, they're like, they won't do nothing to your hair that's going to damage it. They're going to be more careful about what they do or choose to do with your hair, so, or the, you know, stuff they use in your hair. So I went to someone I never went to before, and I was just, you know, being reckless, and I got my hair dyed. She bleached it twice. And then after that, it was just very, very brittle. Like when you went like this, like my hair used to just like break off in my hands. Like if I just went like this, it used to just break off, y'all. Like, I'm not even lying. So after that, it just kind of went downhill with my hair. My hair was just like this bright red. I didn't even get the color that I wanted. My hair was really like, I wanted burgundy, but it was like Rihanna, like bright, super red. So after that, my hair was just very, very damaged, unhealthy. The texture was gone, curl pattern gone, like just everything. So I'm just like, it started off as like a me thing. Like I wanted something that would help me, help my hair grow back, you know, as healthy as possible. So basically I cut it all off. I did the big chop, and yes, I mean like going. I had like basically a boy cut almost, but it was going. And I wanted to start fresh, and when I cut my hair off, I had no intentions on ever starting like a natural hair care line or anything in that matter. I never planned on starting a business. It was really just for myself, to allow my hair to grow back as healthy as it can be. And I started doing my research. I started looking to see like what ingredients allowed your hair to basically be, you know, healthy and, you know, thick and, you know, all the type of things that we want in our hair. So I actually started coming across a lot of natural ingredients, which of course I've already known. Like the natural way with majority of things is the best way, especially for yourself, like for your body. So I went with the natural way, and I started using it on myself. I started using it like individual ingredients at once, like just buying the individual ingredients and just using it on my hair. And then I started combining them. Once I started getting like a steady flow and I started seeing the results and how effective it was, I started combining them. And that's how I came out with the Rose Mint Grow Serum. The Rose Mint Grow Serum is the most popular product. It was our first product to be launched. So that's like our best seller at the moment. But you know, that's how it started. And like I said, it was a self thing. And it started out with myself and my hair being very damaged. So I went through the whole journey, the whole process of growing my hair back, and using my own products. And now we have the shampoo and conditioner, and soon we will be launching, so stay tuned. We'll be launching more products, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I came up with Her Mercy because it's the first letter. The first letter of my last name is Her, so it's H-E-R, just like in S and Her, it's, you know, Her. So my second business, House of S and Her, I always wanted to implement my name into my brand, and it's not only my name, but it's my family's name, and it was also, you know, my father's name, who passed away when I was 11 years old. So everything that I do, I always try to connect it back to what motivates me the most, what motivates me to keep going, and that's my family, that's my father, to make everyone that I love proud, you know, and to stand on what the foundation that he already built for like me and my family. So when I put my business out there, you know, I basically had it built on that kind of like motivation. Like, I want to make him proud at the end of the day. I want to make my family proud. I want this to be something that'll be good for our name, you know, stuff like that. So that's how I thought of the name Her Mercy. And I've always had like the thing like with no mercy or stuff like that in situations. So I even have it tattooed on me right here. So Mercy, I just wanted to make it different. So I just changed the Y to an I, really. And I just, you know, got creative with that. A lot of people, when they say for their business, oh, I can't think of a name, like nothing is coming to mind, or I just don't, nothing's coming up. It really is just like a moment where you're just like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna name it this. And that's how it was with me for both of my brands. Like I had like an aha moment, and even with House of S and Her, I was literally laying in bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just thought of House of S and Her, and I'm just like, that's it. Like, and when you know, when you say it to yourself, it's gonna click, like that's it, like that's the name. And after that, it really goes from there. And it's crazy because with both businesses, I always started out with finding the name first. Like I always started out with finding a name, and the rest of the creativity, the ideas, you know, everything else follows. But as long as you're passionate about it and consistent, you know, it's gonna be cool for you. You just gotta, you know, put the effort in. Okay, the next question is, how did you get your business to grow, and how long did it take you to create it? Well, it's still in the process of being created because I'm nowhere near done. Probably not ever going to be done, but I got it to grow basically by being consistent with promotion, getting other people that have platforms on social media to promote it. And nowadays we have the tendency to not want to ask people, or not want to, you know, reach out to people to promote your stuff. But not only that, it started to be a thing where the people, like they would do it for me. Once people started using my products and seeing like the results and stuff, they would end up posting it on their social media for me. So that draws more traffic to not only you, but your brand. They want to see, who is this, who got her hair growing like this. Oh, she cut her hair all off almost 2 years ago. Her hair is down in the middle of her back now. Like, people want to see like what's popping basically. So they're going to go to your page, they're going to follow you, they're going to order, they're going to try it out, and if they like it, they're going to keep you know, basically buying again and recommending to others to try out your products as well. And I always tell people that if you want to attract traffic, or you want to grow your business, You know, the best way to be successful is not only to be passionate and consistent about it, but you have to believe in what the product that you're producing, or any brand or business. You have to believe in what you're doing. And since I believe in, you know, the natural way of taking care of your hair, I wanted to produce products that included top quality ingredients. So in my products, it's not just regular ingredients, it's pure natural ingredients from the Indonesia and Morocco region getting shipped over, and from plants and trees and different type of nuts and stuff, and it's all coming together to produce a formula, and it's very, very effective for your hair. So you have to believe in what you're doing, and what you're producing, you have to basically make sure it's effective, because when it's effective, that's when you see results. When you see results, that's when the customers keep coming back. When the customers keep coming back, that's how your business grows, and that's how you reach different levels of success. So that's that. I'm going to answer another question. I'm trying to see which ones aren't like that repetitive. Would I mentor? I definitely would mentor. I see like often a lot of people message me basically asking me for advice for their business, you know, how to get started. They don't have the inspiration, stuff like that. But I won't allow myself to mentor anyone until I feel like I'm ready to, until I feel like, you're never going to have all the answers, but until I feel like that I found enough answers for myself, like to help others, that's when I'll be willing to, you know, take on mentorship. And right now my life is like kind of everywhere, like hectic, because I'm going into different like businesses, and like I'm in beauty, and now I'm in clothing, and now I'm doing YouTube. It's like my time is really all over this, and I don't even graduate until May. I'm graduating from Temple, so my life is everywhere, and I want to be able to invest the right time that you will need, basically, for me to be your mentor. I won't want to, you know, halfway do anything for y'all, because that's not right. And I just want to be able to give y'all my all. So I do think that I will mentor in the future. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. And another question: was it hard quitting your job to pursue your business? It wasn't hard quitting my job to pursue my business, because I never like wanted to work for anybody in my life. It wasn't a time where I had a job where I felt like, yeah, I want to stay here, like I want to do this for a little while. No, it was never like that. Like I've always wanted to work for myself. I always wanted to be my own boss. I have this thing where it's not like I just don't want to listen to people, but for someone to always have me on their call, to be able to tell me what to do, to just be able to have me like for anything they need really, or tell me what I need to be doing. It's just like in that type of environment, I just can't, I feel like I can't flourish, like, and it's just like, that's what I don't like. I want to be able to flourish on my own time. I want to be able to, you know, do and get stuff done that I want to get done, and when I want to do it. I just can't have someone like keep, like, you know, telling me what to do. And I just feel like when you know, I feel like everyone has the potential to be their own boss, but when you're very, very passionate about it, when you know what you want to do, what you want to give out into the world, it really comes naturally. And so far, as an entrepreneur, it has come naturally for me, because I just like that was in me. So it wasn't hard quitting my job at all. And another thing is, you gotta be logical with yourself. When you're sitting in a chair working your 9 to 5, and you're starting to make double, triple, or whatever the case may be of what you will be making while sitting on the clock, of what you will be making of that paycheck for the week, of all of your paychecks combined for the month, when you're making that in just a little bit of time, you start adding up the numbers like, it's not no point in me being here. Why am I here? So it just came to a point in time where I had to be, you know, logical with myself, and just be like, okay, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. And that's literally how I was. I literally just, I launched my business in August, and I quit my job at the beginning, the first week of December. So it was a couple months before I decided to do it. But once you know that you're going to do it, you're going to be like, yeah, I don't need this no more. I don't need to quit. So it wasn't hard for me to quit my job at all. I was very, very eager to quit my job. I wanted to so bad. I was working so hard to, like, you know, get to that point where I felt like I should quit, or I should quit my job, or, you know, you'll still be financially stable, or, you know, comfortable without having that 9 to 5 job. So
I'm sorry, you can erase this part, but tell them how long the longest you ever stayed at a job, and how that was like, you know, a factor in knowing that you didn't want, like, you couldn't work for other people. What was the longest you stayed at a job?
A year.
That's no time.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep that in there because this is my sister. My sister is my manager, actually. She's a very, very good manager, and she keeps me going, so I'm not cutting nothing out. So basically, I stayed at my job. My longest job I stayed at, which was my last job, I stayed at for 1 year. That's the longest job I ever had. Any other job, it only lasted for a few months, and not even like I got fired or something. I couldn't like stay there. It just feels like a job, it wants to like constrain you or restrict you to only so much, and I feel like I can't do that. I can't let somebody tell me how much I'm able to grow or flourish in the workplace. This is your position, so basically stay in your place, do what you're supposed to do what you're told, and don't do nothing else outside of that. I don't like that. I can't do that. So I never felt comfortable, and when you're not comfortable, that basically causes the most change. And that's what a lot of things, when you're uncomfortable, it causes the most growth. So sometimes that's why I always say it's good to be put in those uncomfortable situations that you want to get out of, because you're going to do what you have to do to get out of those situations. So yeah, my longest job was 1 year. And that's not to say like you can be at your job for years and finally just get the, you know, the motivation and the will to get up and say, I'm done with this. Like I'm doing, you know, doing what I want to do, or I'm following my dreams. And you got to really follow those dreams though. Don't be just out here quitting your job and you just not willing to put in the work and the effort to really, you know, make it and to be successful, because once you quit your job, it's all on you. Like it's all on you. You don't have a backbone. Your paycheck that used to come in every Friday or every 2 weeks, that was your backbone. You knew that was coming. Now it's not coming. You don't have no guaranteed paycheck every time you work a certain amount of hours. You can put in all of this work and you still might not even get a lot of orders some days. So it's just like you got to learn how to balance. You got to learn how to save, be responsible, know what you want for your business, remember why you started, and you know what you want to produce or, you know, give out in the future. You got to always remember that. So yes, let's move on to the next question. The first move that I made to start my business, and I always give this advice to everyone because this is a frequent question that's asked, do your research. And when I say do your research, I mean do your own research. Like do your research, put the time in, sit down and figure out what you need to figure out. Basically, when I was at my job, before I quit, I was there for, you know, a little over 6 months before I actually quit. No, I was there for a little over 6 months before I actually launched. So I used to just be sitting there on, like, sometimes when I had some time, and I literally went to the store one time. I remember I went to Target and I bought a little book that can fit in your purse, or, you know, if you're a guy, it's easy to, you know, put somewhere that's accessible for you throughout the day. But I had a little book, I carried it on me, I had a pen, and I used to just write out ideas. Any idea that I thought of, write it down. Even if you think it's the smallest idea that you'll be able to remember later on, write it down. Because at the end of the day, our mind, yes, we're able to know, like we have a lot of knowledge and stuff like that, but when it comes to like remembering stuff or like planning and everything, it's only so much that your mind actually like remember, that you're actually able to recall later or whatever that's important to you. So I think that it's very important to write down. Even when you're writing down anything, like anything, write it down, because when you write it down, seeing it on paper is way more easier than just keeping it all in your mind. When you see it on paper, you're becoming more organized. So when I had my job, then before I quit, I was only making a certain amount of money. So each time I would get paid, I remember I got paid every Friday, so I would use that money to buy like one ingredient. And like, if you know, natural ingredients they're not cheap. So that paycheck, I would have to set aside a certain amount to buy that ingredient, on top of keeping the extra money to pay the bills that I had, to use that money, the rest of the money, to get to the next paycheck. So you see that I'm clearly living paycheck to paycheck, trying to figure out a way to get out of the situation that I was in. So I just, you know, put some money aside, and that's where I said it takes maturity and responsibility also, and discipline, because you got to know how to do that. You got to know how to figure out what's important, or if you have a end goal, you got to know what it's going to take for you to get there, and it takes sacrifice. It damn sure takes sacrifice. So if you're not willing to put in the sacrifices, the effort and stuff, like you can't go that far. So basically, I was just setting aside money. And doing my research. When I was doing research, I was just, you know, buying stuff, trying out stuff. But it all comes back to research, and especially in the beauty industry, it's harder because you're actually producing products and formulas that you're testing on other people. So hair, skin, anything like that where it's going on people's like actual body, you have to be very, 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 very careful, because anybody can be allergic to something else that you're not allergic to. So since just because you didn't have the allergic reaction doesn't mean that someone else won't. So you have to be mindful of that kind of stuff. And basically, just my first step was research, and then start following through. Believe in yourself, keep going, don't stop. Even when you start getting discouraged, or you might start thinking this probably not gonna work, or I'm spending majority of my paycheck on this, but I don't even know if this is really gonna take off. You can't think like that. If you think like that, then how are you gonna, if you don't believe in yourself, how do you expect other people to believe in you or believe in your brand and what you're giving out into the world? You have to believe in yourself first. I tell people all the time, everything starts with you. Like, everything starts with you. So you decide basically what you want to give out into the world. You decide the type of person you want to be, the type of boss you want to be, and you go from there. But at the end of the day, like I said before, once you figure out what you're passionate about, it comes naturally. Everything else kind of flows. Yeah, you're going to have them days where you don't make as much money as you made the other day, or whatever the case may be, but you know, you just got to keep going and stay consistent. Remember why you started, like I said, and just believe in yourself. So I'm gonna move on to the next question. I'm trying to like choose not the best questions, but the ones that I think y'all want to hear the most. How do you stay motivated? I think this is a good question, because I know where I started before. I know what I don't want to go back to. I know the headspace, health wise. I know where I don't want to be. When you go through something, that's another thing I always say. When you go through something, something harsh, something traumatic, you know, struggling, it shows you what you don't want to go back to. So what you want to do to not go back to that? Like, what's it going to take for you not to go back to where you don't want to be? And that's how I stay motivated, basically. The year before that, I got into a bad car accident. Not a lot of people know this, but I almost lost my life. Like, the way the car like ran off the road and stuff like that, it was very, very traumatic. And after that, it kind of like set me back even more than I already was. So after that, like, I wasn't in the right headspace. Like, I was really like struggling for real. So I just know that was one of the harder times in my life, and I know I don't want to go back to that. And financially wise, I was struggling too, because the way stuff was set up, the location of my job, like my car was totaled, like stuff like that. You know, when everything hits you at once, and I know everybody can relate, you know, it stresses you out, and emotionally, not even just financially, but I wasn't in the right headspace. I know now that I don't want to go back to that, and not even just financially wise, because that's not what it's all about. Emotionally, I'm happy. I'm way happier. I can feel like my happiness being at a level that it's never been before, and that's what happens when you start doing stuff for you, stuff that makes you happy. When you start following your dreams and you start believing in yourself more, everything else flows. You become happy, you become more emotionally stable, you know, stuff start just, you know, getting better all around. And like I said before, it's not perfect, especially being an entrepreneur. It's not perfect. It's not always going to be flowers and you know, sunsets. It's going to be them times where you're just like, whew, like, I don't know. But I'm gonna move to the next question now. Is it hard balancing your business and school? And what's my major? Well, my major is psychology. Like I said, I graduate in May, and I'm going to have a bachelor's in psychology. And basically, it's not hard to balance school, because I've always been a very organized person. Anyone who knows me know that I'm very organized. Like, you'll see me writing down something in a book, or writing it in my notes, or planning stuff. Like, I love to get like my thoughts out on paper, or even if I'm just talking to my sister, I would just, you know, just be venting to her, telling her everything, because I like to get stuff done, and I'm very, very organized. So with that being said, school wise, you just gotta find a balance, and everyone's balance is not the same for everyone else. Like, what works for me is not going to always, you know, might not work for you, but you just have to find a balance. You have to know how to basically not procrastinate, basically. Like, you gotta get what you need to get done, especially when you got a lot on your plate. It's no time for procrastination. It's no time for laziness, and we gonna have them lazy days, because everyone has them. Even the most successful people has those lazy days, so don't even act like we're not gonna front. But yeah, like, you just gotta keep, you know, you can't procrastinate or anything, and that's how you get stuff done with school. And you know, having a business at the same time. And also with school, I'm interested in what I'm majoring in. It's not just something I'm doing. Like, yeah, it's going to be a little different for me to use my degree now because I never plan on working for anyone else. Like, and you know, in my life now, since I'm, you know, in the entrepreneurial world. But you just gotta learn basically how to have the balance, and that's different for everyone. But since it's more interesting for me, I actually, you know, make it more fun for me, kind of, because I like what I'm learning about. Also, like, going back on to the book thing, when you writing down your stuff, when you got a lot of things to do, when you got a full list of stuff to do for the day, write out. Or you got papers, projects, exams due on Friday, but you got to restock at the warehouse on Wednesday, and you got to find a balance, or whatever, you got to be at the warehouse. You got to find a balance. Okay, so this day I'm gonna write this essay. Tomorrow I'm gonna go to the warehouse, but when I get home I'm gonna finish this assignment so I don't have to do it on Thursday when I go back to the warehouse, and I'm gonna be tired. You got to learn how to balance and, like, give yourself a break at the end of the day. Like, it can't be, oh, I'm gonna do all of this on one day, or oh my god, so much to do. That takes away from how overwhelmed you are, and you're overwhelmed for majority of the time. So that's one thing. Another question is, how did you bounce back from any setbacks during your entrepreneurial journey? So basically, like I said, this goes on to just keep going, don't stop, have faith in yourself. I can say that COVID wasn't really a setback for me. If anything, it drew more business to my businesses. Like, people started ordering more, which was a surprise for me, because when I thought all of that was going to happen when the pandemic first started, I thought business was going to go slower, but that's actually when it sped up the most. But setbacks wise, like I said, just keep going and remember why you started. You can't get discouraged. Don't let your thoughts defeat you. You can do it. So put your mind to whatever it is and keep going. We all experience those hardships. We all experience those struggles. So just keep going, because this is another thing I tell everyone else. When you get discouraged and stuff, you gotta think, like, if it was so easy, like, if it was easy, like peaches and cream easy, like, everybody would be winning out here. Everybody would have money. Everybody would be driving around in nice cars. Everybody would have designer from head to toe. Everybody would just be out here winning. And it would be nice if everybody would be out here winning, but it's not logical. Like, so the people that put in the work, the people that, you know, go that extra 10 miles or whatever, those are the people that's, like, become successful, because not everyone has that will, you know, to be an entrepreneur, to be their own boss. And that's okay. If you want to work your 9 to 5, I'm not knocking anybody. Do what you got to do to get your money, because everybody's route or path is not the same. Money is money. You want to make your money. But for the people that are, like, entrepreneurs, y'all, blooper alert, it's like 80 degrees in here. I'm over here reading these questions and talking to y'all, really getting into it, and I'm sweating bullets. Like, y'all don't even know, but now you know. But yeah, I just forgot my place of where I was at.
But basically, it's not for everybody. If you want it,
yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's not for everybody, and if you want it, you're gonna work for it. You're gonna do what you have to do to get it. That air coming in fast.
No, you're not about to hurt me.
Whoa, little nippy in here. Child, I need to get it together. Okay, how do you deal with haters and fake supporters? So if anybody who knows me, y'all know I don't beef with the soul. It's not one person I can name on my finger that I have beef with, that if I see on the street it's gonna be a problem. That if any, it's not one person. Like, it's not one person. And that doesn't go to say that people haven't tried to come and knock me off my shine or knock me off my pedestal or whatever with their, you know, BS. But my whole thing is, never let other people's demons or what they got going on with themselves interfere with what you got going on or what you trying to do with yourself. Because at the end of the day, that's their problem. Don't bring your problems over here, baby. If you acting like you got a problem with me or anything, you need to check yourself, because I don't mess with nobody. I don't have time to mess with nobody. I don't have time to be beefing. And that's another thing. Okay, so we didn't know that That's probably just this camera though, but the camera had cut off. Basically, what I was saying was, it's no beef with anybody, it's no fake supporters, it's haters, but you just can't let that interfere, like I said, with what you got going on. Like, it's not going to help you in the long run. What does a hater and if somebody that doesn't really support you, how is that going to benefit you in the long run? I'm just the type of person where I don't like to feed into or give energy to anything that's not going to basically benefit me or really affect me. And that's not even to sound, yeah, it is to sound selfish. Don't bring that bad energy over here. And that's why it's okay to be selfish sometimes. You got to know when to be selfish, with yourself, with your energy, with your time. Don't feed in or give your time to people that don't deserve it. That's how I deal with anything like that. But in general, it's never a time where I actually have to deal with anything like that. I feel like at this point, the people that, you know, people that know me or people around me or people that watch me in general, I think they know not to bring that my way. And I think that's just based off how my personality is, how I carry myself. Y'all know y'all won't get a reaction out of me. And of course you see some DMs sometimes of people on fake pages just talking and stuff, but I literally just delete the like the message request or whatever, so I don't want to see that. My whole thing is, like, I don't even want to see it in my DM. Like, keep that energy away from me. I don't even care what you said, girl, or whoever behind the fake page. Keep it over there and we gonna be cool. That's how I deal with it. Don't deal with it. Basically, keep it plain and simple. We got a couple more questions. I think, yeah, we have 2 more questions. Where is your dream place to live? So I don't really have like a set dream place. It is somewhere that I want to move to like soon, because I feel like where I'm from, like where I live, it's only so much you can do there. It's only so much when you're trying to make it to a certain level, or not even a level, but when you're trying to just keep going and flourish and like be successful as can be, as you can be, you need to get out of, you know, your own space. You need to get uncomfortable. You need to move, get yourself out there, network, meet more people, be in a different environment. I think that is very, very important for when you're trying to grow as an entrepreneur, is to just get yourself out there more. So dream place to live wise, I think I will start thinking about a dream place to live later in life. I don't really have a dream place to live. I have somewhere that I want to live that I think will be good for like myself and my business right now, which I'll announce at some point down the line, because I still want to make sure that's really what I want to do. But I think that I will have the ideal place to live once I, you know, get a lot more stuff done right now, because at this age, I'm about to be 22 in 3 weeks. I'm not thinking of staying still. I'm thinking of going. I'm thinking to keep moving around. I'm thinking that I'm not settling down right here. I'm thinking that, you know, don't get comfortable. So I can't think of somewhere like, you know, that I would just want to stay for right now. But I know at some point that's going to come. I just think I'm too young to make that, you know, decision right now. Last question is motivational words for anyone experiencing a hardship. I would say that my advice to anyone experiencing a hardship would be to understand and realize that that hardship is only for the time being. It's only for the time being. Like, you have to realize that just because you're going through something now, that doesn't mean tomorrow or the next day or the next week or the next month, the next year, whatever it is you're going through is still going to be, you know, affecting you. So you got to remember that you just have to get through it for the moment. And once you get through it, you might not get over it, you know, ever, but you're going to get through it. And when you get through it, you're going to be like, dang, like, I remember when I thought I wasn't going to be able to get over that. Now look at me, like, I'm out here, like, I'm good. Like, that was just a moment, and those times make you stronger. I know, who wants to go through hardships? Like, who wants to struggle? Who wants to be sad or any type of emotion, like, other than happy and out here just peaceful? But you gotta understand that in life, it's not perfect. You gotta go through those things, and when you go through those hardships, those struggles, that's what builds your character. That's what builds your strength. So I actually appreciate everything I went through that, you know, had me questioning things at one point in time, because it built who I am today. It made me stronger. You know, I have a backbone. I know what I don't want to go back to. And I'm not saying I don't go through things, because everybody goes through things. I'm just saying that I know how to handle it better now. And I just think that also comes with you growing up and maturity and stuff. You start realizing that certain things that you might have dwelled on last year or even last month. You're not who you were yesterday. You're not going to be who you are tomorrow in 2 weeks. You're always constantly changing. You don't got to be the same person. So you're allowed to change. So yeah, that concludes the Q&A. A lot more videos are coming y'all way. I actually just wrapped up vlogging for the second video that will be launched next week. Or is it next week? No, they'll be launched in a couple weeks. But yes, so I'm happy that y'all tuned in. I hope y'all keep tuning in. I want y'all to subscribe, comment, like. I want y'all to comment down below and tell me what y'all want to see. I know y'all want to see a lot of, you know, my business side of life, but I plan to get more personal with y'all. Let y'all know what I do day to day. Let y'all come to the warehouse, HB warehouse with me some days. Let y'all know what goes on there because it be hectic. I just want to get y'all, like, you know, behind the scenes. This is my way of getting more personal with y'all. So I hope you enjoyed the Q&A video. If y'all got any other suggestions or videos, let me know down below.
Like, comment, and subscribe.